So, I'm so happy to be here. I'm actually quite honored. I look at it as one of my most important presentations that I ever held in my life. I really don't know why. Probably because I want to change something and I want to go into the storytelling mode. This is one of our strongest worldwide marketing message nowadays, storytelling. When I come home, and especially when I work in our region, and I want to emphasize that marketing message that we are in the storytelling business, you know, people in our region are not that open. Oh, you want to sell me some stories, you know, like legends? So give me a break. However, I still want to go that path, and I want to share with you some stories today. True stories. And the first story that I want to share is the story about Qlik. Very quickly, I will tell you something about our company, what we are, how we position ourselves in the market, and how others perceive us. Then I will share stories, real stories that I lived myself in my 8-month experience in Qlik. So no more marketing. All the stories that I will share, I can easily connect you with the people that I will quote in the stories. And oh, sorry. Too fast. I have it here. And because I really love to demo, and I do believe in the power of a demo, and we also call it seeing is believing, SIB. People who are familiar with Qlik already know this concept. I will deliver a demo. Then we'll have a short summary on what we discussed and what's the, let's say, a Qlik customer journey towards data discovery and business intelligence. And of course, I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions that you have after the presentation, after the event. Until tomorrow morning, I'll be here. And then you have my, my email address. You can always reach out directly to me at marius.stoica@qlik.com. I think Stoica is not a difficult name for Bulgaria, right? I think of Stoyanov, Stoichkov, Berbatov. Okay, very close. But my favorite one is, I think, Konstantinov. And I think any French supporter, football supporter, should feel a big pain in his heart when hear this name, right? Okay. So, first story, Qlik story. We are a company that have been founded in 1993. The message behind this slide is that we are here to stay because we are very successful and we have a very big growth year over year. And the reason why I'm bragging about this and why I'm sharing this is because we are that successful because our customers consider us successful and they love our product and they love our technology and the solutions we provide. Hopefully, I will share some of this and I will share how we reach to this, because no matter how many demos or how many industry solutions we provide on our websites or how many YouTube movies we put out there, nobody just buys it, yeah? So they need to dig, and there is a process until they reach to that decision where they say, okay, Qlik is the right solution for us. And of course, we rely on our partners. If we don't have a strong partner in the region or in the customer side that is able to take the most out of our technology, then we are in a risk of failure. So partnership is important. We operate in more than 100 countries. We have over 39,000 customers, and yeah, keep going. I'm one of the 2,500 employees in there. What others are saying about us, it is some of the messages I normally avoid this slide because it's always, you know, you look at it and you say, okay, yeah, we know Gartner, we know Butler Analytics, and so on and so forth. But actually, being the only vendor that has stayed in the leader magic quadrant for 6 consecutive years. This is very important for us. And I will not read to what others are saying about us. We have many happy customers. I'm not sure if all 39,000 of them are that happy, you know, jump for joy of happiness. However, many of them are happy, and at least I've met in my short experience in Qlik so far, so many happy customers. So let's jump right into the real stories. So the first story that I'm going to share with you is a beverage producer and manufacturer, you can call it like this, from Romania. And it has a business model that might appear simple, and people presenting before me might laugh a bit. So they produce something and then they give it to approximately 50 distributors, and then those distributors are responsible for give it to all retailers in the country. Those are spread geographically, and the business challenges they have with it is collecting the data from that distributors, making analyses in conjunction with their internal data, so on and so forth. But it is also interesting how I reach out to this customer, because in January they had only 5 licenses of Qlik. So I had another customer that had a business model similar like this, not customer, prospect. He's not a customer yet, a prospect that reached out to me and said, "Dear Mr. Qlik, I have this problem. I need to analyze and I need to be in control of my business for the distributors. And I know that you have some solutions." And then there you go. Here are some demos, presentation. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I love it. Do you have one customer that has a similar business model like mine? And I want to visit it and show and see how they overcome this challenge. And then I have to look up into our system, into our big CRM database, Sales 360, customer view, success stories, and yeah, there were many, but not that very specific, and they were not in Romania. And he specifically asked, I want to see it in Romania. And then I found out about this project, 5 licenses, and then I called the partner that implemented it. And the partner is, I don't know if you know how people in Transylvania are, in Romania. They are kind of, you know, slow, and when they talk in small words, you better make sure that what they say is right. And I called the guy, I say, listen, you have this customer, and he has 5 licenses, and you implemented it. Yes. Is it a happy customer? Of course he's happy. Okay. Can you please elaborate? Maybe there are some issues and you had some more? No answer. You know why I'm asking? Because I need to organize a reference visit. Do you think it's possible to... Hold on. And I was like, because you know I have these opportunities, maybe good business for you also, and so on and so forth. No answer. Yes. What yes? We can have a reference visit. I'll send you a meeting request. So there you go. I reach out to this customer. Yeah, this is exactly what it happened. This is a customer in Ardeal, Transylvania. So this is how they are. You know, we have so many jokes about it. I can share some of it. And I reach out to this customer, and it was the first time that I actually see this Qlik customer. 5 licenses, not a big deployment. And they started to present their business model, how they manage the distributors, how they collect the data, and then they analyze it, and so on and so forth. And somebody asked them, how did you reach to this, you know, to this analytic solution? Because it was actually the best Qlik Sense presentation that I've ever seen by somebody I never met, non-Qlik employee. And the lady, because it was a lady, she said like this, well, in one of our board meetings, the top management asked a question. Oh, look, we see on that chart that there is a drop of sale for this product in this region. That was a simple question. And can we see why? What happened? Well, whoa, take it easy. Well, there are several reasons why the sales drop, so we cannot just grow. It might be that the competition has a very strong marketing campaign in it. It might be something happening there. Maybe the distributor had some logistic issues, some supply chain, some whatever. So, yeah, but can we find out? The manager insisted. Well, we need to check with IT. Yeah? So we need to check with IT. IT has the answer. And obviously, they call the IT manager. And how many people in the room are working in IT or direct relation with IT manager? Okay. So you tell me whether I'm right, and this is a true story or not, okay? So they call the IT manager, and they comes to the board meeting, and they say, hey, help us answer this question. Well, and the IT manager says, and he basically, let me know if this looks familiar. He said, look, guys, dear management board, we have all those data sources. We have external data that we pay for it, and we receive the database for an external company that analyzes our competition and what's going on in the market. So basically, I have a very good guy or girl in my department that is excellent with Excel. And we can work, and I can find out we will correlate all the data. We export to Excel. We have also these reporting services from Microsoft. And yeah, I can find out the answer for that. And the management board said, whoa, I mean, we knew that you are smart. Come on, I mean, we really knew. You are smart. We love you. Everybody has a great IT people, especially in our region. Yeah? We are very good in IT. Perfect. We look forward to getting it. When can you get that result? Well, I just told you, man. What's wrong with you? Have you seen how many data sources, how many export to Excel? It will take 3, 4, 5 days. Yeah. What? Yeah, this is what it is. Otherwise, we should go ahead and build a data warehouse where we collect all those data. And yeah, after that, we can easily answer to this kind of questions because we put some nice visualization on top of the data discovery, and there you go. You will have the answers to your business questions on the spot. Perfect. Excellent. How long it will take to that? Well, usually data warehouse project, if we are lucky, 3 to 6 months at least, maybe 1 year. But we need the answer now, you know. I know that you're smart, but you're not really helping us. And there must be another way, please. There must be another way. So there is another way, just to shorten a bit the story. And what they did is that they implemented Qlik Sense, and they integrated all the data sources into our amazing Qlik analytical engine. That's our biggest, let's say, strength in the market, because we are able to consolidate that. We have our own ETL solution incorporated. And based on that, we do everything in memory, so everything is fast, and you have very rapid analytics. And that's how they were able to overcome that challenge, together with IT, of course. IT said, okay, there is another option. So they skipped the data warehouse, and they still don't have data warehouse. And you know, they have huge amounts of data. Yeah? So they integrated the ERP, they integrated the CRM, they integrated the database that they collect from the distributors. So just to give you an insight, every distributor is sending every night a CSV file that they put into the SQL database. They normalize it with their SKUs and product names and so on and so forth. And there you go, you have another data repository. And they analyze it, and now right now they just click here and there, and they see they have the answers to all those questions. And they see this product in this region, what happened during the European Championship football, who had the best marketing campaign, why did you lose this region, how come we won this, and so on. Now, this is a story when, you know, if we make a comparison with the patient-doctor relationship, this guy was a patient that had a headache, and they went to the doctor, and they say, my headache hurts, I have a headache, please help me. And yeah, the doctor provided the right medicine for the pain. We usually go to the doctor when we want to know something we don't know already. We want to find out this guy knew that he had a headache. He didn't know the causes. He didn't know how to overcome it. So this is business intelligence. This is data discovery. Basically, it has to help you discover what you don't know. And this is also one important competitive aspect. This is why I insist. Now, the other story that I have, you probably know, everybody know EMAG? It is in Bulgaria also, but it's not that strong as it is in Romania and Poland. For us, it's like top brand for e-tailer. So every time we want to buy something, we first check the EMAG website. We check on the prices, we check, and usually we find it cheaper somewhere else, or not. If not, then we buy from them. But the first interaction with what we want to buy is on their website, at least in Romania. So those guys, this is a data company. So the headache approach would not stand for their business. This is a data companies, they operate on data, and they built a BI strategy. 3 years ago, I think 4 years ago, they started with this, and they went big with Qlik. And yesterday I called the BI manager, his name is Alex Sopra, and I asked him, listen, I need to quote you on a conference in Sofia next day. And he said, what do you want to quote from me? And the guy was a speaker for us, the same like Ficosota, Coca-Cola, and what you see. And he was a speaker for us in Bucharest for Qliksense Tour, I think in April this year. And he was supposed to speak for like 30 minutes. We gave him a 30-minute slot because we were so focused on presenting our own demos, and we didn't want to give him too much time. But he actually presented for 1.5 hours, because after the 30 minutes, then he said, okay, questions. And then 60 minutes of questions. And 2 questions that he received that I really loved the answer. I mean, if I would have organized it with him before that, it couldn't have gone better. So it was fair question, fair answers. Why did you choose Qlik? There are so many BI vendors out there. This is a company that can buy anything. All the vendors are just circling around. If you look into their calendars, then you see in their Tableau, Microsoft, Oracle, HP, IBM, they all try to get a meeting with those guys. And he said, we tested all of them, but all of them. And we tested in like real testing, data stress, real volume of data, because we have huge volume of data. And actually, Qlik was the only one that responded to our IT requirements and business requirements. Great, love it. So this is the first question that I wanted to quote from him, and I wanted to share with you this. He also said something else. He said, we are an open source company, and we have 400 IT people that are excellent specialists on Unix, Linux, PHP, Java, whatever open source technology out there, and they build most of the stuff on their own. But we only pay licenses for 2 vendors, 2 software vendors, and one of them is Qlik. I will not disclose the second one, but I can do it on a coffee break. So they pay licenses for 2 vendors. This also, I love this answer. Now, of course, another question from the audience said, whoa, you made a huge investment in Qlik. What was the return on investment? How did you calculate that? And he said, we did that. Obviously, we did that because our top management is very strict, and the CFO, I know the CFO personally, and trust me, you don't want to negotiate with that guy. And we no longer calculate the return on investment, because we monitor over 3,000 KPIs, some of them in almost real time. Almost is important because it's actually 2 seconds. 1 second to reload the data, and another one to reload it in Qlik. But with only 1 KPI, we already had a good return on investment. So that KPI was the data warehouse performance and delivery to the customer of the goods. Only 1 KPI, it's already paid off a lot. So we no longer calculate that. It's useless. That was also an answer that I love. But this is the kind of customer that builds a BI strategy, and he goes to the doctor for the annual checkup. He doesn't go there after smoking 3 packs of cigarettes and say, my lungs hurt. No. He goes there to do annual checkups and he builds a BI strategy. We don't have time to build BI strategy. They were forced to. Not all the companies have time. I'm not saying it's good or wrong in any other way. I'm just saying what happens from my experience and what I see it's going on in there. Now the third one is one of my first customer visit that I have. And this one is from Slovenia. This is a workforce leasing company. It's one of the famous. It's a worldwide group. And they, of course, they have a totally different BI standard inside the company, completely against Qlik. However, the CFO in Slovenia said, I'm so happy to meet you. And I was like, 1 month in a row. I said, oh, somebody's saying I'm so happy to meet you. Because the Qlik application that I paid, I don't know, 10, 12 Qlik View application, 10, 12,000 euro for licenses and services and hardware, is actually the best application that I've seen in my entire life, in my entire career. Yeah, he specifically mentioned that career. So this is the CFO of this company for Slovenia. I said, whoa, give me more. I want to quote you to Gartner. I want to do a reference case study. Anyways, and he said, this application makes me a hero because I always know the information that I need. And not only that, I'm the only country in our group that can answer those questions immediately. What is the cost per head count? How many people do we actually have at work right now under our payroll? How many contractors or how many contracts will expire in the next month? How many of them are at risk of delaying the payment? And he said, I'm the hero because I always can forecast and I say, okay, I estimate that this is going to happen, I estimate this is going to happen. I love it. And of course, we extended it to the whole group after he said that to me. So this is, now we have it in the whole Adriatics, and we are changing the BI standard little by little. But this is a very nice story. I just remembered 2 days ago, I had the honor of meeting former Ministry of Finance in Romania, Mr. Poja. And he had the unfortunate to be the Prime Minister in 2000, not Prime Minister, Ministry of Finance in 2009, when Romania was economically going down and the big crisis came. And he said, and after that, yeah, he did what he could do in that year, but that's not important. I'm just saying that because I'm proud. I don't often meet public faces or politicians, especially not Ministry of Finance. But he said, I asked him, because now he's a consultant. He's a business consultant, business analyst, financial analyst, and he loves Qlik. And he's working with customers that already purchased Qlik. And I said, stupid question, or introductory. What do you think, Mr. Poja, about Qlik? And he said, well, I can talk to you and I tell you what I think, but you know what? I just received an SMS. And this is also a true story. I just have a look at this SMS. And I look at his phone. I say, oh my God, I'm looking at the Ministry of Finance phone. It's amazing. Maybe I should take a picture. And I was, in the first second I couldn't read anything because I was too nervous. But then I look and the message was like this, if I remember correctly. We are closing our 8-month balance sheet, consecutive 8-month balance sheet, on a profit. It is amazing to be a manager of a company where you have all the data at your fingertips. Thank you, Mr. Poja, for helping me with that. I was like, whoa, this is my kind of guy. I want you as public speaker. I want you, let's make a case study, But anyways, we are working on that. So this is also something that really impressed me, that really gave me the idea that, okay, I can understand why the first slide, why we have that growth, why we keep this strategy, why we have this, we are always so well positioned in Gartner and other analyst companies that are allowed to state their opinion about our technology. Now, for the people that are working in IT, does this look familiar to you? regarding BI and reporting strategy. Does this look for me? I will not tell you what's wrong or what's good. There are so many things that happens in, but this is normal. I mean, all companies have data, and these are the data, and not only that we have our internal data, now we need to take care of the external data. Weather condition, currency exchange, stock exchange, whatever else out there that is affecting our business one way or the other. So we need to be able to provide analytics with all the data sources. And this is what all three customers had in common, actually. This is what I discovered that they had in common. And for instance, let's see. This is how a mug looks now. In terms of más o menos, I know they have Cloudera, but this is, this a bit marketing slide. But this is how their architecture looks like now. So they have data lake. They have data warehouse where they consolidate SAP data and whatever ERP out there, whatever data source out there. But they also have transactional databases. Now people in IT know that they will not do analytics directly on the transactional database, but they replicate it in almost like a mirroring, almost real time, 1 second mirroring, and then they take the data into Qlik and they do very complex analysis. I think maybe I should show you a demo. And this demo that I want is a very simple one. I want you to see let's say after the patient goes to the doctor. So somebody reaches out to Qlik either because he has a headache or because he's building an annual checkup strategy for the data strategy within the company. So let's say that I'm the, sales manager, because I am actually sales manager. I'm the only sales manager in the region for Qlik. And I want to start my analysis, and I have some data, of course. Yeah? And the examples of data that I have and that I want to use is, I have a SQL database that is called CRMDB. Only people in I know what I'm talking about now, but let's just call it CRM data. And I also have, let's say, some other data sources that are sales data and, orders, something coming from the order system. I'm not going to enter the discussion which are the channels that I'm selling. Basically, the line is that I have some products, I have some customers, and I have some ordering system. And I keep those data somewhere. Now I want to build my own analytics. And I will create with you in like 10 minutes. Let's make an application together for Qlik Sense. And I will call it Sophia. Sorry. Sophia BI test. Okay. The application was created successfully. And by the way, this is software that everybody can download for free. And maybe if we have time, I can show you what you can do in the personal life, because I also build my own application to use it in my personal life. And the next thing I want to do, I want to add some data, and I'll connect to the Microsoft SQL server. And I know that his name is localhost. For those of you who need IT help to get a connection string for that, if you want to do that within your company, it is not impossible, but you need IT help to provide you at least the data connection. And there you go, I connect to the database, and then I select the tables that I want. So there's categories of products, my customers, and my products. And then I click on prepare data. So I'm just clicking. It's not like rocket science what I'm doing here. I'm just clicking all around. But these are the tables that are important. So this is, let's say, this is the easy part in any data discovery or BI project. We bring the data into Qlik. What happens next? We need more data, of course. So I add more tables. And for this one, I will connect to Excel files. I keep hearing in the presentation before, mnogo Excel, mnogo Excel, mnogo Excel, mnogo Excel. I know that, yeah, I know that. I understood. Okay. So Excel rules, but let's give the Excel only what is good at. And I connect to the orders that I showed you before. And then I connect also the order header and the order details. And then I prepare the data. And don't believe that this is that easy when you do it an analytic program. And IT people know what I'm talking. But those tables need to have some relations. So I'm building a data model inside it. The reason I'm doing that is basically after you build a data model, then you can do whatever analytics you want with it. So you don't have to worry about it. So this technology will allow you to extract 1 terabyte of data. It is a 90% compression because we have this patented algorithm that only Qlik can do it. So you only reach out approximately from 1 terabyte, I don't know, 10% of this terabyte reaches to the Qlik data model, and then you start, and then when you put it into the memory, then is another compression and even less. But when you build a data model, and this is the most difficult part, because basically you need to transform the data, you need to make the relations with the data, and 90% of the customers don't have accurate data and clean data. But for the sake of the demo, let's say that we have everything in place in here, and we want to build a data model. So if I click on a table, and if I put in front of the other table, I see that some of them are coloring in green. Green is good, yeah? Normally green is good. And orange is not, maybe not that good, but if I click on categories, I see that the one above, sorry, is getting red, so red is bad. So when it's green, then I can connect them and make a relationship between them. When it's red, no. Or I can ask the system, please do it for me. I'm not that good. And it builds the whole data model for me. Okay, we did that. We load the data. Now what do we do with it? So remember that I'm the sales manager, and I'm just trying to become one of those power users. And I'm sick of doing that in Excel. And I want to do an analysis, and I want to see how my sales are performing and how my products are performing. And basically, I want to see on a geography level. I don't even know what I want to discover. I don't know right now what needs to be discovered. So I look at, first, let's put some filters. Yeah. So I said that I want to do customers. I can do that from a tablet. I can show you. And I want to have product names. Okay, make it. Then I need to add some bar charts. This is very, very simple. And you will say you probably do that in Excel. Of course you do it. I'll tell you what you cannot do it in Excel and any other tool that I've seen in my life. Right, in here the dimension should be customer. Okay. And we measure it by the sum of sales. And in here we have the dimension as product. So product name, and the measure is, of course, who can say what the measure should I put in here? No, I'm a sales manager. I want to see only sales. So I put the money, the sum of sales. So, right, and then I drag a map in here, and in the dimension, let's put the customer city, and I want it as a geo point. I don't want it as a, and then I want to see, of course I practice this, but this is a YouTube movie, you can find it easily. It's not very complicated. So I want to see it, and I want to have the colors of the cities by the sum of sales, so how much sales I have in the city. So there you go, this is my application. I save it, and I want to also show it to you in a browser. Sofia BI test, there you go. What can I do with this? I just made, I don't know, 2 charts, 2 filters, and a map. I'm the sales manager. first thing I do, I look at my top 3 customers, and I can easily select my top 3 customers. That's a quick, simple selections. Everything changes, and this is thanks to that analytical engine that has everything in the memory, and all the data and relationship, including the visualization, is stored in Qlik. This is most of the time a plus, but it can be a minus, and we can discuss over coffee when we have our disadvantages. Don't believe that we are perfect. Yeah. And I see that in those top 3 customers, I sell a lot. So these are very good performance. And I see where they are in Dublin, London, and I think in here is Dortmund, yes. However, everything in Qlik represents an information. There is a small gray area over there, and I wonder what it is. What's that gray area? So it has to mean something. So what I can easily discover, I can see that in my top 3 customers, there is a gray area, and this gray area represents the fact that I have 3 products that I don't sell in my top 3 customers. Now, these are the customers that I have the perfect relationship with. These customers buy everything I have to sell from me because we have a business partnership and we make money together. How come I don't sell those 3 products? So normally, in any reporting solution, you will get information on how your sales are doing for those 3 customers and how you are performing, and it's very difficult to discover this kind of insight. So this comes back to me to the, let's say, the comparison that we had with a doctor-patient. I go to the doctor to discover what I don't know. Please don't tell me what I know. So maybe exaggerating of it, this is the difference of traditional BI, reporting, hierarchical stuff, and data discovery in Qlik, because you find out things that you don't know, and that's the whole idea of it. So I discovered that I have some problems with those 3 products in my top customers. I can easily turn my analysis into this direction, and I can talk to the account manager, please, in order to reach the target for this fiscal quarter, we need to make sure that we add those 3 products to this. Let's find out why they don't want it. Let's dig more, and I can do an analysis quickly only on those 3 products, and the demo can go on. But another thing very important, and this will pretty much conclude my demo, is that I look at some very nice visualization. I look at some nice dashboards, and yeah, I can read them because I have some basic knowledge of data analytics and business intelligence, but most of the time I don't even know what to look for. Now here is another very powerful thing that comes with Qlik, is the search, because basically you can search in here everything. So let's say, I don't know, Dortmund. So I search for Dortmund, and I didn't write it. London. Come on. And what happens is that this Qlik analytical engine that I keep repeating myself about will search in every dimension, in every measure, in every table that is already in the memory. And there you go, I can start analysis from London. And I don't need to spend 5 minutes to search in a specific report. I just search for what I think I know. And then the analysis can go on. Now coming back to the presentation, I hope you find this interesting. And this is something that you can freely download, as you probably know. Did any of you ever tried Qlik Sense Desktop, the free version? Okay, okay. Balkan service don't count. Okay, very nice. So you've seen there are some very nice trainings that you can do. You, Valentina, tell me if I still have some more time, because maybe I can show 5 minutes how I do my personal financials with Qlik. This is how, when they had the problem, those customers, they reach out to Qlik, and somehow we were able to overcome the business issues. We solved them. Very quickly, There are some differences between traditional hierarchical BI tools and Qlik, and maybe the most eloquent slide is still this one, because you will see that there are so many nice visualizations tools that can build you dashboards, and yes, they are. Some of them are better than Qlik. I can say that. You have also you can have data discovery, formatted reports in all kind of forms, but nobody completely covers all of them in a single platform without huge investments. Data warehouse. Data warehouse is a huge cost center, and it's a project that will never end. And what happens when you keep changes, and you do have, because the market changed and you need to change, you will do have changes in your data structures, in your data sources, in external data that you need to put into the data warehouse, and it's like a huge hole. Of course, if you have it already, it is perfect. If it's even better, Qlik will maximize that investment. Definitely, Qlik will leverage the data warehouse investment. But the usage scenarios that we have in Qlik, and I think this, according to Gartner also and other analytics, this covers the whole spectrum of let's say, business intelligence use cases. We no longer call it business intelligence because we kind of think of it that business intelligence was the previous version of data analytics. Now we go into data discovery. We need to discover, we need to be able to tell stories from our own data. You probably are very familiar with this. This is the most popular, no, this one is. The reporting and collaboration is the most popular, let's say, business intelligence scenario. Then comes the guided analytics. And in this regard, I think QlikView is one of the best solutions in the market for guided analytics. And when we talk to extending towards self-service BI, like you saw that sales manager before in the demo, or embedded analytics, basically web-based solutions and mobile, touch-friendly. I can easily, do an analysis from a touchscreen device that I have in here. Qlik Sense will cover the gap and is completing our portfolio towards an end-to-end platform, and to embed analytics in enterprise applications or web portals. That can be easily done right now because Qlik Sense is entirely HTML5, JavaScript, CSS, whatever. It is web technology. Okay. And I showed you the demo already. And let's do a quick summary of what we see in the customer journey. So basically, I have encountered 2 scenarios, but you can add more of that. So specific business problem, and I have many examples like that. Questions from the management board. IT for sure will help us. We have the best IT in the market, and they usually do. We are very good IT professional. IT will help us. And they start for that. An urgent business issue that needs an immediate action, and IT will provide a solution. And they usually reach out to Qlik when they don't do it fast enough, and they work a lot. And then the governance, the security, and God, any IT person would love to have self-service BI. Let the business users do whatever they want to do. We will never be able to understand exactly their business needs. And come on, we cannot expect our IT department to turn overnight into business analysts and at the same time be top IT professionals. This is not going to happen. We do have business intelligence departments, and we start building up. Recently, I discovered in one of the customers that they have actually marketing intelligence department, and there was people working with marketing data, have no idea about it, and they don't even care. But this is marketing intelligence department. You probably had, and you understand what I'm saying, that they are doing complex analysis on competition, product, which is the most profitable, which is not, best marketing campaign, return on investment on marketing campaigns, and so on and so forth. Or they build an analytic strategy. This is going to go to the doctor. You are perfectly fine. You are healthy. And you go to the doctor. This, the Ministry of Finance, former Ministry of Finance, Poja, told me that smart companies, they do a health check analysis of their business when they are doing very well, when they are on growth, when they are on profit. And usually he said, usually what I do, I go there and I discuss and I say, do you know what your 80% revenue coming from? What's your cost regarding adding new products? Because now you are very good, you are doing very good and you have revenue. What are your costs for, because you are expanding, for opening new branches, new retail stores, hiring new people? Do you know what this is going to affect and impact your business? And this is kind of business questions that he tries to move and use the medicine Qlik to prevent eventual, you know, business disruptive situations. So this kind of concludes my presentation. I have this set of customers that I've learned something from them. This is their journey that I just showed to you. All three of them, I have more examples, of course. Yeah, I have more examples, but only limited time to present. I meet customers almost every day. And prospects and leads, and basically this is my role. I'm a salesperson, and I have, in order to sell, you need to meet them. Either it's online or face-to-face, you need to meet and discuss and discover the business needs and how we can overcome them. If you think there are some other scenarios where you can lead to, I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you over coffee. And questions, please.
Моля вашите аплодисменти преди това. Моля ви да се ограничим до 3 въпроса. Знам, че имате най-вероятно много. След това Marius ще бъде available at the lunch, so he'll answer hopefully all your questions. So, моята колежка е там с микрофона. Дигнете ръка и тя ще дойде при вас, за да може всички да го чуят.
Okay, here's the first question. Okay, we saw some good stories, but what is the roadmap? Where you are going? Nowadays, the cloud is a very popular thing. Do you plan to offer Qlik as a cloud solution and not to have everything installed on our data centers at the moment? Is the current solution. So this is the first question. And second question is, do you plan to overcome the current limitation of the systems we can use? You cannot have it on Unix at the moment. Do you have any plans in your roadmap?
Okay, I know what you're saying, yes. So the first question, our cloud strategy or our cloud vision for the future. We have a cloud offering right now, which is kind of basic. There is a free offering for cloud. Everybody can use it for some short, simple scenarios. We have a premium cloud option where you can pay a subscription, but it's not, and we acknowledge that it's not enterprise ready. So if we are talking about complex security model integrating with on-premise infrastructure and moving data back and forth from ERP and so on, we are not there. Currently, our R&D centers in Sweden and US, they are working heavily on having an enterprise-ready cloud offering. Now, I'm not sure when this will be ready, but for sure it will, because it's something that we cannot avoid. This is a trend that we can simply not avoid. We need to be enterprise cloud ready. We do have cloud deployments, a lot of customers that choose cloud deployment because exactly like you said, I don't want to build a huge infrastructure for it. I'd rather pay it as an OpEx, software as a service, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, whatever. Just take it away. I don't want to worry about energy, power consumption, administration, security of the building. I need to externalize all that. So we do have deployments. Usually there is a workaround. Either customer choose like a, I don't know, very well established cloud solution provider like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, Rackspace and so on, and they deployed the Qlik in there. So that was one option. Other option is that they build their own data center, or there are also some, let's say, local infrastructure as a service providers where they could deliver that. So this was one option. But we will also have our enterprise offering for cloud. Hopefully by end of this calendaristic year. So by end of December we will be able to have a cloud offering. Now the second aspect, if we'll have the cloud offering, we no longer have to worry about the operating system. That's a good point. I'm not aware of any plan to shift from Windows Server deployment into Unix, Linux. So we will stay as it is for now. So I don't know if we have this in the roadmap. So probably we don't, otherwise it would be communicated. We depend on the Microsoft operating system so far. If the cloud will solve somehow the issue, but no, there is nothing in the roadmap.
Okay, I have one question maybe to add to what the colleague said. What is in the future? Because now we're talking about big data in real time, we're talking about HANA, and some very good companies are rising on the horizon when we talk about
big
analytics.
Yes.
So what is the future of this Qlik about this area?
So for sure, this trend of big data is included in our roadmap. I mean, definitely, we are a data company at our own. And we already integrate with any, I don't know, data lake, Hadoop, Cloudera, whatever else out there, Google. We integrate and we have for some of them dedicated connectors and so on. So the strategy towards this direction, we also want to move into being much better into statistical analysis, into predictive analytics and so on. We have something right now, but this is a much more complex subject when we talk about machine learnings and stuff like that, that will emphasize and will give you some very important insights. So this is in our roadmap. For sure, we will see something big coming up next year. In terms of data, big data, for us is just data sources. So this is another data source that we take it and we integrate and we analyze. This is also one of our, we need to be able to connect to whatever data source out there. And this is definitely one of our strategy, important principle. I hope this answers your question. It is about the future, so we always, we don't know what's going to be the next trend in 2017, but basically cloud and big data are there to stay, so we cannot ignore them. Thank you very much.